Hey Capricorn, welcome to your weekly forecast for September 9th through the 15th. We're going to connect here and see what's going on for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're using two different decks this week. We've got one here that we're going to use for your weekly messages, and then we're going to pull a Moon card, Spirit card for you from a different deck. We do have a full moon coming up at the end of the week, full moon in Pisces. So we'll see how those energies are going to be affecting our Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising friends. And as always, if you're curious about which cards I'm using, there's a link in the description that will take you so that you can get info about the decks. Okay, guys. Here is your Monday, Tuesday, your Wednesday, Thursday. Oopsie. Dropping cards here. And your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're going to go ahead and see what we have. So, Monday, Tuesday for Caps. We have Four of Trees, growth. Now, this is going to be Four of Trees in this particular deck would be Four of Pentacles in traditional tarot. Okay, Four of Pentacles. So Four of Pentacles, the creator of this deck has it listed as growth. And so that's an interesting way to look at it, because Four of Pentacles can mean in traditional tarot either somebody who's afraid to spend money about a situation, or they're concerned about finances, or it can mean someone who's kind of closed off, who doesn't really want to let somebody in, or somebody who's needing a lot of space. So whatever the case may be, I feel like what this card is telling us with the growth keyword here is that something may be happening Monday, Tuesday, Capricorn, that makes you feel a little uncomfortable or a little bit out of your element, but it's going to end up being a blessing for you because it's helping you to grow in some way or expand your skill set or your abilities in some way. I feel for some of you, I'm getting a sense or a feeling of just really feeling aggravated into action. So it could be that you're feeling uncomfortable about a situation, or you're wanting to distance yourself from a situation, and you might finally be having something happening Monday, Tuesday, where you're like, that's it. I gotta start making some steps. I gotta start making some changes here. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start going back to school, or I'm gonna start putting my resume together and looking for another job, or I just really can't stand what I'm doing anymore. I'm going to figure out how I can take my skills and abilities and apply them to something else. It could be for some of you getting up the nerve to speak with someone or to address something with someone, whether it be a disagreement or a misunderstanding that you want to straighten out, or maybe some of you are like, you know what, I can't stand not knowing how somebody feels about me. Maybe you have this kind of love interest situation that's not clear to you. You might be addressing it or speaking up and just wanting to lay it out there and figure out if the other person feels the same way. It's going to be different for different ones of you. This is a general reading. I could have 1,000 people watch it. I can have 20,000 people watch it. It varies, right? So it's going to be different for different ones of you. But I absolutely feel with the energy Monday, Tuesday, Capricorn, something is happening that's causing you to come out of your comfort zone. And I do feel like there's a sense of like light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. I do feel like there's some kind of hope that you're reaching for, because even as I'm looking at this picture here and I see this tree, there's like a little sun. I don't know if you can see that. I darkened it a little bit. Maybe you can see it. But there's this sun here in the center. And that just kind of made me think of the whole situation of like a tree that's growing in the sunlight and the branches kind of like just reaching towards the sun, and the leaves are just soaking up the light and turning it into food and all that wonderful stuff. So I feel that this moment of growth, this discomfort, you're reaching for something comfortable, or you're reaching for something nourishing. So there's like another like vine to grab onto. You're not completely and totally like in the dark. You're reaching for something that's going to be sustaining you, that's going to be nourishing for you, that's going to bring you positive outcomes. Your Wednesday, Thursday card is Four of Angels, and this card's been coming up for a few of the signs. So it doesn't surprise me to have this card come up the week of a full moon, okay? And it seems to me like the signs are going to be feeling the moon energy at different times. That is one thing I will say. There's some common themes, but when these themes or energies are hitting the different zodiac signs, it seems to be coming in at different times of the week. You may have heard me say on this channel, the full moon energy is energy where we might be very emotional, or we just might have big emotions coming to the surface. We may be in our feelings more. The full moon is a time that we release. We release blocks, we release grudges, we release old hurts and resentments, we release traumas, we release whatever's ready to be released. And when the full moon energy comes in. So most people who are moon sensitive will begin feeling that full moon energy 3 days before, all the way through the full moon and through 3 days after. But sometimes some people might pick it up sooner. So the 13th is when we have the full moon in Pisces coming up, which is Friday. Okay? Friday the 13th. Lucky Friday the 13th. A lot of cultures don't have that. I don't know if it's because of the movies or something else, but in the United States, people kind of get scared when it's Friday the 13th. But obviously, we know we don't have to be scared of it that date at all. But we do have a full moon, Friday the 13th. And it's going to be a full moon in Pisces. So some emotions and feelings are going to be coming up, but some of you are feeling that energy, the 3 days before, right? Because you're in the midweek. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you're feeling that energy around the 11th, and so you're coming into this Four of Angels, or what we would call in traditional tarot, Four of Swords. Four of Swords, here it's listed as rest, and that is really what Four of Swords is about. It's kind of taking a time out, a separation. And in my experience, a lot of the times when Four of Swords comes up, we're dealing with a person who is mentally and emotionally exhausted. Like Capricorn, something is happening this week. By the time we get to the middle of the week and all of your things that are ready to be released are coming to the surface, you're ready to let it go. Like you're over it. You're not interested in fighting. You're not interested in arguing. You're not interested in holding on to the old resentments. You're just in this energy where you're like, I just want to be done with it. I want to let this stuff go. I want to, just clear it out of the way. And I want to rest and recuperate and then focus on moving forward or moving on to whatever is next for me. It's really interesting to me because this card has come up a few times for the different signs. And, those of you who watch my videos, you know that I read intuitively. I see what in the card is jumping out at me and what it's saying to me. But for some reason, and I didn't see this in the other signs, I'm seeing it for you. I know this is not a phone here. I know it's not a phone, okay? But something about it makes me feel like a phone or makes me think about a phone. And so I feel like there's something happening midweek where you are having a conversation with someone. You may be receiving a phone call, or you may be making a phone call that takes a completely and totally different direction than what you had anticipated or what you had expected. And some really deep subjects or topics or things may come up. Obviously, this is going to be someone you've known for a while. It could be a family member. It could be an ex. It could be a current love interest or current partner. And maybe for some of you, it's not going to be on the phone. Maybe for some of you, it is face to face. Maybe for some of you, it's a husband or a wife. or like a live-in boyfriend or girlfriend. But I feel like there's a conversation that's coming in, something in terms of communication, where after the conversation is being said, like you're just feeling tired, you're feeling exhausted, and you're feeling like you need a little bit of a break, you need a little bit of a timeout. Some of you who are living with a person may feel like you want to go away for a little bit, like you want to take a little trip. Maybe you want to go see a friend or a family member in a different city or a different state. Like you're needing some time alone, or you're needing some time away. I don't feel like, anything terrible is happening, or I don't feel like you're getting bad news or anything like that. I just feel some of you are like, oh my God, like this again, like, are we really going to talk about this again? Or are we still having this issue? Are we still having this problem? So it feels to me something recycled or being brought up again, or just some of you are tired. Like, how many times do I have to explain myself in this situation or in this scenario? And you're needing a little bit of a timeout, okay? So some of you may be releasing without that trigger. But other ones of you where the things aren't coming up just yet and your angels and guides want to help you get it out, they may give you a trigger. They may give you a little bit of a push so that you're able to realize what some of your resentments or disappointments or frustrations may be, so that you can release them. The green is also really, really jumping out to me for you guys. It didn't jump out to me in the other readings that it came up this week, but it's jumping out for Capricorn. And green is the color that I associate with Archangel Raphael, and it's the color that I associate with healing. So whatever's happening in this downtime that you're taking, or pulling away from certain friends or family, or just spending some quiet alone time, there's a tremendous amount of healing that's coming in through that. And some of you may be having a direct connection to Archangel Raphael. You may feel him. You may have him come into your meditations. You may have him come into your dreams. Archangel Raphael, for those of you who don't know, is the patron archangel of healing and of soulmates, of true love, matters of the heart, things of that nature. So there's a lot of healing happening for you in those areas midweek. A lot of release, things that have been blocking you in those areas are being released midweek. Your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday card is 7 of Trees, okay? So 7 of Trees is going to be in traditional tarot, the 7 of Pentacles. And so the key word that the creator of this deck has for us here is contemplation. When 7 of Pentacles comes up, it's usually an energy where you're working really hard. Like you're really giving something a lot of effort. You're really trying very hard. And you start looking at the situation and asking yourself, I'm working really hard on this. Is it worth my while? What have I gotten out of it? What have been the results? It's kind of like a time when you have to ask yourself, do I want to keep doing this? Do I want to keep going down this path, or working on this project, or working on this thing? Or do I want to begin something new? Or you might be asking yourself, is there a better way to do what I'm doing? Is there an easier way to do what I'm doing? And typically this could come up about a relationship or about a job or things of that nature. And for some of you, you are going to be contemplating end of the week if you want to stay in a job or a relationship, or if there's if there's a way to make it easier on yourself. But overall, for some reason, Capricorn, I feel collectively for Capricorn, this contemplation is going to be more about the way you're approaching situations in your life. Like you might be like, wow, I'm really complicating my life by, telling myself, at the end of the day on my way home, I got to stop by the grocery store. I got to get to the dry cleaners. I got to leave a little bit early so I can do those things. And then, I had that project I need to finish, so I better stop by that other place and pick up that other thing. Like you might be putting a lot on your plate, or you might be pushing yourself to be productive, or you might be pushing yourself to go about a project, but you're doing it in a certain way where it's complicating life for you. And there may be an easier or gentler way to do it. So I feel for the majority of you Capricorns, this contemplation is more about your approach. The schedule that you're putting on yourself, the requirements that you're putting on yourself. I do feel some of you have been doing something very severe or very strict in terms of dieting or trying to like get to a certain physical goal, and you're realizing that maybe you're doing it in a very extreme way and that it's not worth it the way that you're doing it, and it's going to be better to do it in a gentler or healthier way for yourself. But again, it feels to me this is more along the lines of just your way of doing things, and you're finding a way to be gentler on yourself. That's the vibe and the feeling that I'm getting from this card for you, Capricorn. We're going to go ahead and check out your moon message for the week. And speaking of moon, be sure, guys, that you also watch your moon sign and rising sign videos, not just your sun sign, because some weeks those may resonate with you more. It may bring a few little extra pieces to the puzzle, little extra bits of information. So that can be helpful for you as well. We're going to go ahead and see the moon message. And we have here nourishment. Oh my God. So Capricorn, when I was just talking right now about some of you having some really like restrictive or extreme things that you've been doing to reach a certain physical goal or a weight goal, whether you're trying to gain muscle mass or lose weight or whatever you might be doing, and that maybe was too extreme. You have nourishment coming up here. So that's definitely going to be a literal physical, theme for some of you. Your nourishment's going to be very important this week. Obviously, this is not just about physical food. This is nourishment in an energetic sense as well, doing things that nourish and feed your soul. Okay, so definitely having that energy as well. And so when we're in this energy of nourishment, we're putting our needs first. We're doing things that are going to be fulfilling for us. We're going to be doing things that are going to be soothing and healing for us. You have the number 7 here on this card. And for me, 7 is the number of intuition and following intuition, following guidance. So Spirit is already speaking to you through your intuition, through those gut feelings, what you need to be doing that are going to be bringing you healing and satisfaction. Okay? The book here says, choose to nourish your mind, body, and spirit. Feed your values when you are jealous or envious. It is a sign of what you are actually hungering for. Pay attention to your health. So Capricorn, in this resentment that some of you are releasing, maybe for some of you feelings of envy or jealousy may be coming up. And so you have to ask yourself, why am I envious? Why am I jealous? And then realize that that belief is coming from a belief of lack, right? When we're jealous or we're envious of somebody, we feel like they got a bigger piece of pie or a bigger piece of cake, or they're getting the last of something. Like there's not enough for everyone, and they're getting what you wanted, and now you can't have it. But that's not the way the universe is. The universe is abundant. There's more than enough for everyone, right? For example, say you're wanting to be a tarot reader, right? Say you're wanting to be a tarot reader, and you want to go and you want to be on YouTube, and you look and you're like, oh, that person has 200,000 subscribers and all of their videos have 50,000 to 100,000 views, and they're so lucky, and I only have 200 views, or I only have 1,000 views, or whatever. You have to understand something. The universe is an abundant universe, and whatever you're doing, whatever message you're trying to get across, it will get to the right people. It will get to whoever Spirit needs to hear it. And as long as you're going from that place of love, where you're doing something that you love doing, and you're doing something with a sincere heart, where you're wanting to help or benefit others, you're going to have the right people gravitate towards you. You're going to have the right people, you know, come to your channel or book a reading with you, and your business will grow in that way. I just used the example of tarot because it just kind of popped into my head. So maybe for some of you that's the case, but it could be anything else. It could be someone at your job that got a promotion. It could be a friend of yours who's maybe not the most pleasant person to be around. They may have ended up in a really wonderful romantic relationship, and you're like, meanwhile, how am I still single over here? It could be a lot of things for different ones of you. So understand this. Just because somebody else got what you wanted, it doesn't mean there's not going to be enough for you. It doesn't mean that you don't have your share waiting for you, okay? The universe is abundant. Remind yourself of that and start doing the things and start taking the steps that's going to align you to getting what you're hungry for, to getting what you're wanting, without having to feel jealous or envious or threatened by what anybody else is doing. Okay, my darlings, again, be sure to watch your moon sign and rising sign video. We touched on love a teensy weensy bit, but if you're wanting more love info, you can go to the description of the video. There's a link there that will take you to the September love readings for September. I was about to say January. I don't know why I was going to say January, Capricorn, but maybe you guys have something magical happening around the times of your birthdays. I don't know why. I was about to say January. It will take you to the love readings for September. And if you would like a private reading, you can go ahead and click on the Calendly link in the description of the video, and it will take you to schedule a private reading with me. And everything is there, guys. The different reading options, the prices, the scheduling times. It's all there. So go ahead and check that out if you'd like a private reading. And those of you who like the videos, I've been getting a lot of messages, guys. A lot of messages on email and social media. And I'm sorry. I'm trying to be quicker at responding to them, but the messages can kind of be a little overwhelming because it seems like all come in at the same time. But a lot of you have been saying that you've been watching the videos for a while and you haven't really commented and you haven't really booked a reading with me, but that the videos are really helping you, and I'm glad. That's why I'm doing it. I'm doing it to help people. But keep in mind, if it is helpful for you, if you like the videos, every single day I post a card of the day and I post a pick a card on Facebook and Instagram at the Amethyst Angellight pages. So if you like the weekly videos that are helping you, take advantage of the daily cards. Those may help you on a daily basis as well. Doesn't cost anything, Instagram, Facebook, it's free to go on, follow on there. So maybe there's going to be things that are daily that might kind of help you as well. So feel free to check that out. Again, thank you so much for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Wishing you a fabulous week, Capricorn.